Okay, good evening once again. Welcome to the Saints post-game recap show here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. The Saints lose 23-21 to the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to be honest with you. This game right here, it was a shootout. It was an absolute shootout, but eventually you was missing Alvin Kamara. One of your best backs. You had Mark Ingram taking over the roles. He had some pretty good games today. What he did for the Saints, but the next couple of games this week, it's going to be tough because they're going to have Philadelphia next Sunday afternoon at noon. And I'm going to tell you, if you go up there and play like crap like you did against Tennessee, I guarantee you, you're going to get your ass annihilated. That's the truth. I mean, what? I can't explain it more clearly than when I'm explaining it now. I mean, the Saints has got to get it together. Because, look, I can't have these faulty Saints are now 5-4 in the season. I mean, they're in second place of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're only a game behind. But the truth of the matter is, look, that second place can turn into last place in the NFC South real quick. Because you're going to have teams that's going to come up and take that second place spot. So the Saints are going to have to just do it. They're going to have to have a lot of gut checking in this game. So let's go ahead and give you a score recap of this game. So I'm going to put my screens up. Enough for me talking. So I put the screens up. And I'll give you, we'll go through every scoring play. So I'm going to go through the scoring plays here. Okay, let's go through those scoring plays. Beginning in the first quarter, Tennessee scored on an 8-play, 70-yard drive with a 28-yard field goal by Randy Bullock, made it 3-0. Then the Saints scored the second quarter. Traquan Smith had an 11-yard touchdown pass on Trevor Seaman. That plays with 6 plays, 75 yards. Took 2 minutes and 53 seconds off the clock. Then the Titans scored on a Randy Bullock 36-yard field goal, 10 plays, 59 yards, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. And then Tampa Bay scored on a 1-yard touchdown run. Ryan Tannehill, 8 plays, 56 yards. And then in the third quarter, Tennessee scored on a 2-yard pass play, took 5 plays, 19 yards. Then Mark Ingram had 11 plays, 87-yard drive with a 13-yard touchdown run that cut the lead to 20-12. And Randy Bullock kicked a 36-yard field goal, 11 plays, 55 yards, 6 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock, was made it 23-12. And then Brian Johnson had a 20-yard field goal. Brian Johnson, let me say something about Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson, I'm going to be honest with you. Look, he missed 2 extra points today. 2 extra points. That could have been points right there for the Saints. Saints could have been up in the lead, but unfortunately, he missed the 2 extra points. So they're going to have to get him another kicker. I'll be honest with you. They definitely have to get him another kicker. If I'm once again, if I'm wrong, you can post your comments and the chat room, or if you want to come on video chat, we will send you the link via StreamYard, so you can come in and discuss. I'm going to go ahead and send you the link on YouTube, Facebook. Wait, I'm going to wait a few minutes. Yes, this thing's a little slow. Okay, the Facebook StreamYard link is posted. So I'm going to go ahead and give you, let's go ahead and go through the drive summaries. I'm going to go through drive summaries, what happened in the with the Saints throughout the game. So I'm going to go pick up the other stats on the screen. Come on. Come on. Shit. Oh, why we got slow computers. Wait. Oh, come on. Jesus. Ridiculous. Hate this. Slow. It's very. Come on. Waiting for the things to come up. Look for the drives. Shit, I don't know where those drives are. I'm gonna put the game book in. So let's go ahead and give you individual stats. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. And we'll give you drive. So let's go ahead and give you those individual stats. I'm gonna go ahead and give you those right now. Okay, individual stats in the game. Trevor Siemian, 19 of 34, 298, 4 sacks today. Quarterback rating was 104.8. So the rating was 104.8, and his rating quarterback rating 52.0 in the game. Okay, your main ball carrier today was Mark Ingram, 14 carries, 47 yards. Your main catch guys were Harris, Ingram, Smith, Harris, Ingram, and Smith, and Callaway, Johnson, and Troutman. That's your main guys that caught the ball today for the Saints. Where the hell is that coming from? Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and give you the defensive plays. Okay, 2 sacks today by the Saints. Main sack was Davenport with 2. So Davenport had 2 sacks in the ball game today versus the Titans. So let's give you the regular stats. Stats on the screen. Saints had 22 first downs, 14 on passes, 5 on runs. Third down efficiency, Saints was 5 for 12. The Titans were 3 for 12. Saints used 61 plays today. Tennessee used 58. Saints had 373 in total yards of offense to Tennessee's 264. Total drives was even at 11. Yards for a play, the Saints at 6.1 to 4.6. Passing game, Saints had 287 yards passing, and Titans had almost 200 yards at 198. Now, running the ball, Saints ran the ball 21 times for 86 yards. That was an average of 4.1 yards per pop. Also, red zone was 9 for 65. 3 for 4. Penalties was 9 for 65. This is the main thing we have to straighten up when we play Eagles is the penalties. We had 9 penalties today. Also, we had one turnover that was a fumble by Harris. Now, the time of possession, Saints had the ball for 28 minutes and 33 seconds. The Titans had the ball for 31 minutes and 27 seconds in the game. So that is your stats for the Saints and Titans. So let's go ahead and I'm going to give you some drive information, how the Saints went on those drives. I'm going to pull them up in a second. Pull up the drive summaries. I will pull up drives. Okay, the drive summaries are right on the screen, so I'm going to pull them up. I'm going to stop sharing this one, and I'm going to swing it over to this one. Okay, your drive summary charts are on the screen. I'm going to go through them. Okay, drive summary for the Saints. First 2 drives were punts, and then first 2 drives was a punt, touchdown, and end of the half. And then on the first 5 possessions, the Saints had a touchdown, but fumbled on the last on the first 5 possessions. And then the last 2 possessions, they had a field goal and a touchdown. So that was in the game for the Saints. So the Saints had field possession at their own 28-yard line. Tennessee had 2 punts, 1 field goal, 1 field goal, 1 touchdown. Also, 1 touchdown, 2 punts, 1 field goal. That was on possession 9. And on possession 10 had a punt. Now, these are your times right here. So the Saints had the ball in the first quarter for 8 minutes and 12 seconds. The Titans had the ball for 6:48. Also in the second quarter, Saints had the ball for 6:22. The Titans had the ball for 8 minutes and 38 seconds. Also in the third quarter, the Saints had the ball for 7:13. And the Titans had the ball for 7 minutes and 47 seconds. And then Saints had the ball at the 6:46 mark. And the Titans had the ball for 8:14. So that was how it went. So the kickoff was 4. Saints had 5. So that was on the scoring drives and stuff like that. So we'll look at those first half stats. Okay, first half stats. Saints had 152 yards total offense. Tennessee had 188 first downs. Saints had 10 first downs. That was 5 on 4 on runs, 5 on passes, 1 on penalty. So that was third down conversions. They went 1 for 5 in the first half. Tennessee went 1 for 6 in the first half. Now the red zone efficiency, both teams didn't get into the red zone. Penalties they had 5 penalties in the average drive start was Saints 31 and Tennessee 25. Now Saints rushed the ball for 38 yards in the first half. Ingram had 7 carries for 38. Hill had 2 carries for 18. Now Travis Simeon had 10 of 15 passes for 133. He had 4 sacks. He had 1 touchdown. His rating was 116.8. Troutman had 4 catches for 24 yards. Smith had 3 catches for 23. In the first half, Harris had 2 catches for 67. Ingram had 1 catch for 12. And Johnson had 1 catch for 10 yards in the game. Now, defensive plays, Saints had no sacks in the first half. So that was in the games. So that's how the game drives began with the Saints. So once again, final score. Saints win. Saints lose 23-21 was your final score. So we will go over to the Sean Payton press conference to see what happened. We'll have the players as well talking about today's game.
Just in the end, too many little things, a couple false starts, critical situations, obviously the turnover, missed PATs, but, tip your hat. It was a hard-fought game. Any questions? Missed him left.
What was the explanation of the run pass?
No explanation. There wasn't an explanation. What do you want me to say? You want my opinion on it? No opinion on it. Next question.
Second week in a row, a lot of mistakes, but your team fought.
Thought we had a good plan coming in with this game specifically. Pretty good with the injury we had. Ty got hurt early. That really impacted some of the stuff we were going to do. But I thought he laid it out there.
So what you think about the late
Trevor Simeon played. It seemed like in the fourth quarter he really sort of dialed.
Yeah, I would agree.
You make the adjustments at the half. The first half they had 4 sacks and none in the second.
Yeah, there were a couple things that we fixed. And look, I thought the guys up front, we wanted to come in and be balanced and make sure there wasn't one dimensional. We just felt like that was going to be the right plan, and so we were able to do that.
How much did the false start on the two-point conversion at the end change your play calling there? Or?
It's significant from the 2 to the significant.
Thinking before that, you switch quarterbacks for you potential run play.
We'll see. I'm not going to tell you what play it was, Catherine. Seriously. Next question. Obviously, it changes the play when you're on the 2 and you go to the 7.
You guys have any made excuses for injury when you're missing guys like you were?
Look, it's the NFL, and that's part of the deal. And I hear you. I thought the way we approached this game, you got to be able to still play, and that's the one thing we've been able to do, fight through it. So we'll continue to do that.
Does that, when you're having this stuff like that, like fumble kickoffs and missed extra points, that make it harder for?
I think that makes it hard for a healthy team.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree? Yeah.
So what's kind of the process for cleaning up some of those self-inflicted things that?
I mean, it's the attention to detail. Obviously, we look at it as coaches too. Start with me, but then pretty soon we start looking at who's doing it. We start evaluating who's making plays and who's not. And it just is what it is. It's our league. All right, thank you.
Okay, Coach Sean Payton. So we'll have some players on there talking about today's game.
And not happy, to say the least. I think for several reasons, this game started slow for the Saints. Lots of penalties in the beginning of this game. Trevor Simeon at quarterback was sacked 4 times. Some of those could have been his fault. Some of those are on the offensive line. Cesar Ruiz got beat twice up the middle. You can't have that happen through the first half of the game and then expect the outcome to be much different. They really did play much better in the second half of this game. However, the Saints, right now, they lead the NFL in points scored in the fourth quarter. 92 points scored in the fourth quarter because they have to be scoring in the fourth quarter in order to get back in these games and have an ability to win in the end. Today, not enough. Came down to the very last few minutes of this ball game. Trevor Simeon with the pass to Marquez Callaway late in the game made it a 2-point game. They needed a successful 2-point conversion in order to push this one into overtime. Not something that they were able to do, as Adam Troutman was called for a false start. That pushed them back 5 yards. Made it a 7-yard attempt, and the pass to Ingram was no good. They did attempt an onside kick, recovered by the Titans. The Titans then kneeled it down and were able to get the win here. So the Saints, they are number 6 in the NFC coming into this game. Really needed this win today. They were 5-3 coming in. They are now 5-4. The Bucs weren't doing very well, so they had the opportunity to move up in the NFC South with the win, obviously having that tiebreaker with the Bucs. But now they look ahead. They're at the Eagles. Then they have the Bills here at home on Thanksgiving, and then they will be playing the Cowboys, who are putting up a lot of points on the Falcons today. Last I checked, it was 43-3 late in the fourth quarter. So it's going to be a tough road for the Saints. They really needed to get this one. Coach Payton saying that it's time to start evaluating some of these players, who is and who is not making the plays that they need during these ball games. It's tough when you don't have your main workhorse, and Alvin Kamara leads the team in rushing, leads the team in receptions and touchdowns. Not available to go today. Mark Ingram did step up in his place, running back. Big day for him as he passed Deuce McAllister for the all-time rushing record for the franchise. Deuce had it held at 6,096 yards. Ingram passed that in the second half of the play. He came in and he made several receptions as well. He was a target as a wide receiver, so really filling a role that they needed because wide receiver Ty Montgomery went out early in this ball game with a finger injury. I don't know if you saw it. I do not recommend looking at it. His finger, his pinky, was not in a direction that a finger is supposed to be in. So that was unfortunate. And as Coach Payton said, it did affect some of their play calling as the game went on, not having him in the game. Deontay Harris really did step up as far as the receivers go. He had a couple really nice catches, and Trevor Siemian has a good connection with him. They really connected several times for some big yardage plays. But in the end, it just wasn't enough. Lots of penalties, the sacks that I mentioned. We're going to look at some of the numbers. First downs for the Saints. 14 of them were passing first downs, 5 of them rushing first downs. You can see there, we're not having Kamara in the game is affecting some of your play calling. Overall, they had 373 yards, 287 of them were passing, 86 were rushing. They did really well in the red zone. They scored 3 times when they were in the red zone. However, there were a couple missed point after attempts that kind of came to bite them in the end. There was 2 missed extra points. Early in the game, there was 1, and then later again, a missed extra point. Ryan Johnson did hit a field goal, but the 2 points there in the end of this game became the difference. And that's definitely something that they're going to have to look into. Kicking has been an issue for the Saints this entire season. We're going to head to the locker room again, hear from Marcus Davenport on some of the defensive efforts in this one.
More practice, more attention. You know, it's just one of the things we got to get back to. And these details, you know, it's we just got to figure out ways to win. You know, do all that we can and get back to our details.
Marcus, as a guy rushing the passer, and I'm sure you saw the replay, what did you think about that roughing the passer call on Caden Ellis? I mean, what can you do in that situation to not get that call? Like, how much do you guys talk about that and think about that? And what did you think about the call when you saw it?
Didn't really care about it, actually. You know, for the most part, we just got to play. And we can't control the call. You know, we just got to play full tilt. And then it's kind of up to them to make the calls. You know, we don't get a choice in that. So, you know, it's whatever. We got to move past that.
From what you saw, did he do something wrong, like technique-wise, or something that you guys teach not to do in that situation?
Already moved past it.
But moving forward, how do you balance playing full tilt and knowing that, you know, some of those calls aren't going to go your way no matter what you do?
You don't. Just play. That's it. Just continue to play. You done. Good.
Marcus Davenport, they're happy to leave the podium. The player likes to talk after a loss. He had 2 sacks in this one. He played really well and helped the defense to a pretty good day. They were able to create a lot of pressure on quarterback Ryan Tannehill from the Titans, and they had several stops in the red zone. There were 3 different times that the Titans were able to get into the red zone, and 3 different times that they held them 2 field goals. So that definitely helped things and gave the Saints an opportunity. Although they weren't able to stop them scoring, they were able to limit them and continue to keep the Saints in this ball game. It was definitely a few suspect calls in this one, I would say, and came up during Davenport's availability there. The call in the second quarter with Caden Ellis getting called for roughing the passer. That was after Marcus Williams' interception in the end zone, and because of that, Ellis roughing the passer call negated the interception. The Titans were able to continue on with the drive, and it did end in a touchdown. And that could have been the difference in this ball game as the Titans kind of continued to gain momentum from that point. At the half, it was 13-6 Titans' favor, and the Saints were never able to take the lead in this one. There was a few other players that really stepped up on the defensive end. Marshawn Lattimore, he had 6 tackles. Demario Davis had 6. He had a big tackle for a loss late in this ball game. Quan Alexander really challenging a lot of the receivers. There was one play in the end zone where he, early in the game, where he broke up a pass to McNichols, and they were able to hold the Titans to a field goal there to start this game just at 3-0. So they did a really good job limiting the Titans when they did have opportunities. Quan ended up with 5 tackles, 3 solo, and then that pass deflection. Shy Tuttle also stepped up with the pass deflection late in this game. The Saints defense held the Titans after scoring a touchdown, or scoring a field goal, and then giving them opportunity to score the touchdown late in the game. So the defense really did step up. There were a lot of other players that obviously Marcus Davenport, Malcolm Jenkins, usual suspects that stepped up. Overall, the team had 61 tackles, 2 sacks, 5 tackles for a loss, 4 pass deflections, and 6 quarterback hits. It was tough, though, because Tannehill is a mobile quarterback, and he was doing a good job evading some of the pressure and then still continuing on to complete passes. We're going to hear from several other Saints players momentarily. We've already had Coach Payton, Marcus Davenport, and we're going to be looking for a few others here shortly as they are trying to wrap up things after the 23-21 loss. We can take a look at some of the other scores around the league. The Falcons and the Cowboys game did end. That final there was 43-3. Lions and the Steelers are currently underway, tied at 16. Vikings and the Chargers just getting started. Those are the afternoon games, as well as the Panthers and the Cardinals. Panthers already with a 13-0 lead. And Cameron Newton did get in the ballgame. He was available today to go, and it was Cameron Newton passing to Anderson for a 2-yard touchdown for that 13-0 lead there. Bills with a 45-17 win over the Jets. Titans, so we said that. Colts 23-17 over the Jags. Patriots with a 45-7 win over the Browns. Washington had a 29-19 win over the Bucs. As I said earlier, it was an opportunity today for the Saints to gain some ground in the division. Unable to do so. I did see earlier today that Chase Young, their big defensive star for Washington, is out with an ACL tear. So that's unfortunate news for the Washington football team. And then still to come later today, Seahawks, Packers, Chiefs, Raiders tonight. And then Monday night, it will be the Rams and the 49ers. Might be a sore spot for some Saints fans to have to watch that one, as everybody definitely wanted a certain wide receiver to sign here in New Orleans. But not the case. So we're going to have to continue to evaluate the players that we have, as Coach Payton said, and decide who can make this team continue to progress as the season goes on. It's been a tough road. There's been a lot of adversity, a lot of injuries that have been plaguing this team for quite some time today. We mentioned running back Alvin Kamara unable to go, tackle Teron Armstead, and then safety CJ Gardner-Johnson also unavailable. He was actually put on injured reserve yesterday, so he will be out for several games. Unfortunately for the defense, however, there are a lot of others that have stepped up and have done very well for this team. As we continue to go, looks like the Lions and the Steelers are in overtime, tied at 16. So that was not one of the late games this afternoon. That was an early game that's just still continuing on because they're in overtime. Could be a win for the Lions, their first of the season if things go well. They're 0-8 right now. It would be good to see them get a win. And it'd be a good win for them over the Steelers, who are 5-3 right now. I do want to go through some of the plays, specifically looking at the defense. We said that they stopped the Titans in the red zone several times, 3 different times on the 10, 19, and 18, stopping them for field goals. However, they're still allowing some of those big play opportunities, which are tough because that's what's getting them into the red zone. And while they can stop them in the red zone, they are still allowing too many of those big pass plays. It's because the Saints, they play a lot of press man-to-man coverage, and so the Titans really attacked that by working their crossing routes, and the Saints got burned several times in that regard. It's tough when you're playing man-to-man and you're really trying to create pressure on the quarterback. You're going to get burned sometimes, and teams are really starting to attack the Saints in that way. Maybe some adjustments that'll happen going forward. It'll be interesting to see, especially facing some of these mobile quarterbacks. It's really hard when you're trying to create so much pressure and they have the ability to evade that pressure. Go through some of the quarterback stats. Tannehill had 19 of 27 completed passes for 213. One touchdown. He was sacked twice, both, as I said, by Marcus Davenport for 15 yards. Trevor Siemian didn't have a bad day. Again, no interceptions. He had 2 touchdowns, 19 of 34, 298 yards. And then we did see some Taysom Hill. He came in through 2 passes, both completions for 11 yards, and he was used a lot as a rusher, and then he was also used on special teams. So if he's doing a lot for this team, he has come in and helped in every way that he can. It's going to be hard when you're without your main offensive threat in Alvin Kamara, and then technically you're on your 3rd quarterback of the season. Did hear, though, that former starting quarterback Jameis Winston had successful surgery on his knee. He is in LA, going to start his rehab process soon. And now Trevor Siemian, right on time, he'll be at the podium here.
I mean, what's the takeaway? You felt that coming all along, you're frustrated, you get going?
I think we were probably pretty poor on 3rd down in the first half without looking at anything. But that's my initial thought, is we got to find a way to stay on the field early in the game. So.
Yeah, sometimes those two one-of-our players kind of what you saw.
Yeah, I thought I was thinking it was going to have to be a play extension, and then I saw the linebackers back turn on Mark. And I thought that was a pretty good chance to get one there, but I think, without having looked at it, I think they got to give him a better throw or extend the play, and something weird happens, That was just Mark, that's the first guy in our direction on that play. So.
How frustrating is the penalty on the 2-point conversion that actually left though?
Yeah, it hurts. Obviously, down there it gets loud. There's some movement, there's a lot of communication that happens. But yeah, I think it's certainly, if you're on, going for it on the 2 versus on the 7, it's probably a little, the odds are probably a little better there.
Did something feel different or click different in the 4th quarter? Did you start to feel it a little bit at that point?
Yeah, I think just staying on the field, like I said, if you don't stay on the field, everybody says, oh, we're not in a rhythm. And, one drop gets magnified here and there. But when you stay on the field, you convert 3rd downs or whatever it is, and you get some chunk plays, everybody feels good. But you got to stay on the field to get more plays, and usually good things happen.
On 3rd down that you guys can do?
No, I think early they were, definitely challenging us and made some big plays, but just weren't consistent enough. Weren't consistent enough.
Is it fair to say that the last couple of weeks guys have been trying to get in the wrong way?
Yeah, I think we can be as good as we want to be. But yeah, I think we're close, but that's, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah, he's a difference maker, and he's got to be accounted for on every snap. So, I think Mark played really well. But Alvin, changes the game a little bit.
Did you guys do anything to neutralize their pass rush in the second half? It seemed like it was less disruptive on the outside.
Yeah, I think once they got out, they were playing a little more coverage. And the offensive line, I thought, played well all day. So, when they're playing coverage and not disrupting the timing of the routes, and there's a little more rhythm in the passing game, but, when they're challenging you and disrupting the timing, sometimes you got to hold the ball longer and push the ball down the field. So maybe that's what it looked like.
You guys have talked this all year about playing without major players. When this happens, how much does it make it harder when you guys are dealing with a couple of missed extra points or fumble?
Yeah. I think injuries, you know, I think you don't want to focus on injuries because everybody's doing the same thing. I think Tennessee was pretty banged up too. So that's just the point of the season, the NFL season. You know, that's why it's the strength of the team, not just individual players. So I think we still got a really good team, and we're going to get it fixed. Yeah, just details, you know, there's just these details we got to clean up here and there. You know, the game played out how we thought it would. To a certain extent, it was just, you know, a couple details we got to get cleaned up. There's just, you know, there's not much margin for error.
You said it's close. Are you seeing, and you said you had a good team, are you seeing enough to sort of give you confidence going forward, even if it wasn't great this week?
Yeah. Like you said, we got a good team. And yeah, this is the NFL. You're not blowing people out. You're not, you know, winning by 3-4 scores every week. You know, the margin for error is next to nothing. And these games, you know, whatever percent of them come down to one possession at the end. And if you slip up on a few details, that's what happens.
Is there any part of like your fourth quarter that now has been 2.5 games that you actually been able to find some kind of personal rhythm, maybe?
Yeah, you know, I've played, you know, 3 weeks in a row now, so you know, I feel like I'm a starter at this point. So that part's good, but yeah, that part happened organically, probably midway through last game. So. Thanks, guys.
Okay, Trevor Simeon. So we'll wrap this up tonight. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. So we'll wrap it up tonight. So once again, Saints lose 23-21. They will play the Philadelphia Eagles next Sunday afternoon. We'll have the game for you here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So once again, myself, man of the boards here at StreamYard. Everybody have a good rest of your Sunday night. And we'll see you Monday for Pelicans and Washington Wizards. We will do that game on Monday night. So we'll be here for that as well. Also, we'll be here Thursday for Southeastern and Nicholls State. So everybody have a good rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you tomorrow.